Greetings, traveler.
The new Battleground season has just been announced, and quests will be returning. Which quests that will be and which new quests will be revealed at a later date, but we also have some new keywords and new minions to reveal. Our first new keyword is Rally, which triggers whenever the Rally minion attacks. So very simple. Before we had a description on a card. When this card attacks, it does a thing. Now that's just described as Rally. So pretty straightforward, and we're going to see a few Rally cards being revealed today already. The other new keyword is Bounty. It is going to be a pirate-specific keyword where certain pirates can generate these bounties. It's a tier 3 tavern spell, and we are going to have 5 different ones. Now today, 2 of the bounties will already be revealed, so let's have a look at those. Here we can see 2 of the new bounties already, Friendly Bounty and Wealthy Bounty. First one is essentially just Chef's Choice. Get a random minion of your most common type. Not exactly Chef's Choice because you don't target something, so with Chef's Choice you take that minion out of the pool, but in 90+% of cases it's basically a Chef's Choice, which is a fantastic spell to get. And then Wealthy Bounty is gain 2 gold. That's also just awesome, right? So these are very nice economy bounties. We're very pleased that the minion generates these for us. And we also have a new hero, Lo, the Living Legend. This is going to be a hero that's very similar to Arana, where there is 2 parts to the hero power. One is sort of a quest phase where you have to complete the hero power, and then you get your hero power offered to you, similar to Ajara, right? It's this slow ramp up, and then once you have it, it's quite a powerful reward. So in this case, you need to attack 15 times, so that's why it's compared to Arana. Arana also needs to attack. And when you complete it, you can discover a rally unit for 1 gold. Now, this is going to be hard to gauge power level wise, but generally speaking, Blizzard does tend to release new cards rather too strong than too weak, and that's for a very specific reason. It feels very bad when you make new cards, and the correct play is to not pick those cards because they're too weak. So because you can never truly know if something is going to be balanced or not, generally they will err on the side of caution and release things too strong rather than too weak, so that if they did undershoot the power level, it's actually just now balanced, right? But if they overshot the power level, it's now really strong, and we've seen that in the past. So that's my bet with rally minions, where if they make rally minions too strong, this guy is going to be pretty good at the beginning because you get to generate really strong minions. Then we have removed cards. Selfless Hero is out. That's a really iconic unit, but it's gone in and out before, so that's okay. Blue Shell, I'm really sad about. This is such a fun stabilizing card. And the fact that it was on tier 4 just gave me so many memorable, really cool games. Spirit Walker has only been here for a short time. It's also just a really fun card to play with. Orkai, who cares? Botanist, who cares? I mean, nobody plays these cards, right? Fireworks, very specifically in certain anomalies, was fine, like Doubleheader. And then Atrocity has also been here for quite a while. Really cool card, super good tempo early to Reborn, right? So those are out. Then we also lose Greasefire, Elemental again, kind of whatever. Blanchie was really good for a short time when it worked with Kel'Thuzad and Mutinous. Other than that, it's just like a fun card. No more Prosthetic Hand, so we'll probably see some kind of other Reborn mechanic, and they take this one out. Starry-Eyed Explorer also, whatever, right? But then the Bloon Grifter and Greedy Headhunter, that's a huge hit to the pirate package, so probably going to see quite a pirate rework if those 2 are out. As we can see here, right, we have way more pirate cards leaving, so a complete pirate overhaul. No more Pip, which is, whatever. Again, Coast Guard was a really good card with Drust, with Grifter, but those 2 are out. No more Drust, no more Spacefarer, no more Seafarer, so that's pretty exciting. That means they're just taking the whole type and really reworking it. So that's always a fun time to relearn new mechanics. Probably going to involve a lot of the bounties, which we've seen earlier. Then our first bounty generator here is the Bigwig Bandit. Rally, get a random bounty. So we have seen that we can get 2 gold and a Chef's Choice on a rally effect. So as long as you have a taunt, this is pretty much guaranteed to farm. You can get 2 of these early on. If you're Reno and you go 3-on-3, you hero power this probably and just snowball out of control. If you're Zarek, you can hero power this as well. So it seems pretty strong and a really good reason to go 3-on-3 if this is in. Now, if you do go 3-on-3, it is only has 4 health. It can get one shot and you don't get the value. So you do have to get a little lucky at the start, but once you have one more turn, you put some more units on your board, this should consistently start farming for you. And not to mention, if it survives and it gets to attack again, it's just bonkers, right? It's essentially hollow rover levels of economy and value you're getting early. Prouds, privateer, let me know in the comments. You cast your bounties twice and then 3 times when it's golden. Again, that's going to depend a little bit on what the bounties look like, but pirates do love money and I love money as well, so I love playing pirates. So the idea of getting 2 gold 3 times and then you generate bounties during the combat, maybe during the tavern phase as well, something with a battle cry and a brand. This guy could be generating a lot of economy, but a lot of that is going to depend on, okay, what's the pirate package specifically going to look like. Then we have Yorick Smite. I believe this is a character from the Deadmines, right? I played World of Warcraft and Smite's hammer always stuck with me, right? So that's the mace he's wielding. That's really cool to see that crossover. At the end of the turn, give your minions 1/1. Gold ones gain 4/4 instead, so big emphasis on gold. This is probably okay for tempo, especially if you have some goldens on your board, but historically we've seen that these kind of mechanics are tough to use as an actual strategy to win the game with because it's pretty capped. You can add a golden Drukhari to your board and that's kind of it. Now there will probably be some meme games where you have like 3 golden smites and a golden Drukhari, and yeah, that'll be a lot of fun and a really fun video. But other than that, I don't think this is like a viable endgame strategy, but you know, we'll see if I'm right on that or not. Tusk Camper is another rally unit. Play a Blood Gem on this. That's okay for a 1-drop, right? It's just some tempo. It's a 2/3, and if you attack, it's a 3/4, and if you get any kind of gem buffs, it's okay. It's a rally mechanic, and there's maybe some rally synergy later on, like when a rally minion attacks, do this or that. So okay for that reason, you know, doesn't stand out to me right now. Exceptional Caretaker is Battlecry, Death Rattle, and Rally. Give your other minions 2/2. That looks a little weird because it's a neutral, but at the same time, that is Giga Tempo as well. And we had a card called Silver-Handed Recruit a while ago where that was a +4/+4 to... God, I can't even remember. Was it all even cards? I think it was all even cards. So this thing doesn't distinguish. It'll buff odd cards all the same. And it does work with Bran, it does work with Titus, and you have Rally. So obviously the Death Rattle and Rally parts aren't permanent unless you're using something like Poet or any other mechanic, because that's combat buffing, but the Battlecry portion will be. So I imagine that this is actually quite good tempo to triple into, because if you play it, your whole board gets +2/+2, it attacks 2/2 again, it dies 2/2 again. So probably a reasonable early triple to stabilize, but I'm not sure if we're going to see some kind of, you know, end game compositions running this card. Talking about tempo, we have Primeval Monstrosity. This card is stealth, so that's always really fun, you know, until they cleave it. Whenever a friendly rally minion attacks, so here we see already a payoff for having rally units. Give a friendly minion of each type 3/3 permanently, and it's an amalgam itself. Wow. That is Giga Tempo, at least, you know, in my initial observation, because this will not get sniped again unless you're really unlucky. If you have 2 or 3 rally minions on your board already, and you have, let's say, 4 or 5 types, this is already Giga Tempo because you're getting the stats in the combat, but it also farms it permanently. So again, from my first scan of the card, this just feels like it's going to be unethical to triple into early if you have rally units on your board. So there are some conditions to be met here. You need to have rally units, you need to have types, but it's probably going to be a really bad time to fight someone who meets those conditions and tripled into this on, let's say, the 8 gold turn, right? Turn 6 or so, because that is just, you know, that's a bonkers amount of tempo and stats. Because you have to keep in mind, when the rally minion attacks and buffs, that now makes it more likely that the second rally minion will survive. It also makes it more likely that your types are surviving because you're getting that +3/+3 and then +6/6 and all that. So yeah, it just snowballs out of control quite quickly. So we'll see if I'm right on this, but this feels very strong early. Probably not something you build to like in the fully end game, but just a really strong card in the mid game to pick up. Valblaze Leader, Rally, give your minions in the tavern 2/2 this game. That's a little bit harder to judge because we have to see, okay, what does the power level of the set look like overall? Because we only have quests and we don't have trinkets and anomalies, the power level should be lower. There's going to be fewer crazy games like tier 7 and doubleheader and all that extra economy. So we are used to now seeing really huge shops because we have Felfire Conjurer in combination with Shadow Dancer. So this doesn't seem crazy, but if the power level is lower, this could actually be quite good. Where suddenly that's all you need, right? A couple attacks of this guy, then you get some shop consume mechanics and then you snowball out of control. So this one is a little bit harder to judge. We'll have to see when the set hits. And this is just amazing. We have the Poltron. This is something Blizzard does so incredibly well. The names, the jokes, the puns, right? I love that. So the Poltron. And the effect is also hilarious. It's Avenge 4, to gain Divine Shield and attack immediately. So this is a mech beast. You're going to want this in the back behind a bunch of taunts and giga buffed. You put all your buffs on this unit. Then anytime 4 units have died, so with beasts that can be multiple times per fight, this gains shield and just attacks immediately. It's just, yeah, I hope it has an amazing attack sound or animation or whatever. It's, yeah, probably not, but yeah, this just looks like a really fun card to buff and make your carry. Then we have Charmwing. It's a rally effect. Give 2 friendly dragons this minion's health. And then the golden version, give this minion's health twice. Now it does say except Charmwing, because otherwise you can have a Charmwing, buffing a Charmwing, buffing a Charmwing, which just buffs another Charmwing. It's like, hey bro, I heard you like health. Let me give you some more health while you're giving other dragons health. So we could, yeah, that just goes on forever. So that's an obvious exclusion. But it still seems like a pretty good carry unit. You can put a lot of buffs on this, put it in the front. It's also going to work with amalgams. So you can have the tier 5 amalgam on the board that buffs whenever you have a rally minion attacking, and then you have Charmwing attacking, so you'll have at least have 1 dragon on the board. Maybe you have 2 of those rally buffer guys, so then that's 2 dragons that Charmwing can buff, so there's already some synergy there. And just seems like a really fun unit to buff. And again, because there's amalgams in the game, it's a little easier to have 2 dragons on your board. Then we have Oranamonas the Wilted. After a friendly minion is reborn, your undead have +1 attack this game wherever they are. So that is essentially like Primus, where Primus was really strong when it was Avenge 2 and kind of weak when it was Avenge 3. So quite difficult to get that balance right. So if we think about this as a Primus, we would need 4 reborn units, I guess, for it to be really strong. That can definitely happen. So we'll have to see again what the power level of the set looks like. Also, depending on the availability of reborn cards, this could really take the place of Primus and make that attack undead strategy viable. Oh, Blue Shell is back, but it looks different. Beacon of Hope, Battlecry. If you lost your last combat, discover a tier 5 minion. Wow, okay, so back to tier 5, right? Blue Shell did go to tier 4 before as your catch-up mechanic. But now we have a catch-up mechanic on steroids, because you can have Bran with multiple Beacons of Hope. So let's say you power level to tier 5, as you do, and then you lose the round. And then you roll into Bran, you have Beacon of Hope. It discovers like another Bran, and then you roll another Beacon, you get a golden Bran, and you're just like the potential for crazy turns here is through the roof. And I embrace that. I think it's going to be really fun. So overall, you're going to roll past this card a lot because obviously you don't lose every round. But whenever you do lose a round, this seems like a must buy, a must pick up. So it seems like a really fun card to have in the game. All-Seeing Elder is a tier 6 1/1. All right, that's unplayable. Next card. All right, start of combat. Gain the attack of your leftmost minion and the health of your rightmost minion. That is pretty darn useful because what you want to be doing the entire game is condensing your stats anyway. You want to put all of your stats on 2 or 3 big minions. Now, why do you do that? It's because you have then big units to trade into other people's medium-sized units, and you can just add Leroy or Venom to your board. Now having All-Seeing Elder in the game, it means that instead of a Leroy or so, you can just play an All-Seeing Elder, and all of a sudden you have another big minion, where you can just position like that. Now, that can be abused a little bit, where if the opponent knows you have to lead with a big minion, they can taunt a Leroy, but that's getting pretty technical. Overall, this seems like a really nice endgame card to play. You can play multiple of these. When you triple it, suddenly you get twice the stats, so seems like a good strategy now. Just keep condensing stats and then play All-Seeing Elder in the endgame. Then we have returning cards. Arm of the Empire is back. This card really did not fit last time they brought it back, and I'm not sure if it's gonna fit right now. We're really gonna have to see. It was good in its day, where you would taunt the Divine Shield and just be insanely strong, but power creep happened, the meta changed, and this card has never really felt in its right place since then. Reef Explorer, on the other hand, is a super fun card, super good card as well. There is a very specific trick you need to know with this card. I hope they haven't fixed it yet. I actually can't remember if they patched it. I don't think so. Where if you have all 5 types on the board, it will discover amalgams. And we've already seen that you have the tier 5 amalgam that you can discover, the one that does the rally buff thing. But we'll also see that Phalanx is back. Now, one thing you can do is, if Phalanx is on tier 4, which it is, you can actually farm Golden Phalanx with the Reef Explorer. Especially if you have multiple Reef Explorers and then you triple them. This is a trick that can get you some crazy power spikes and easy triples. So keep that in mind. Really cool with that. Hooktail is also back. This card was actually really impactful last time it was in, where you would just sit on tier 3, spam a bunch of tap-in spells with a lot of Divine Shields on your board, and that was a really consistent strategy to get MMR. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case right now, but that's how we used it last time. Horse is back. This is going to be very good with the Pultron, because the Pultron needs a lot of Avenge fodder, and man, the horse just, the horse just keeps giving, right? It just keeps making more things. So yeah, that seems like a really fun thing to do, especially Reborn Horse, if you can time that just right so you have enough board space so the horse reborns. It's just, oh, so much fun. Then we have Urel being turned into a Rally minion. That makes sense. This is just a text update. After this attacks, now it turns into Rally. Phalanx goes from a 2-1 to being a 2-2, but the death battle buff is now 1-1. So we can see that with the Reef Explorer, it might be a little bit too much tempo. There might just be a little bit too much support for menagerie type stuff. It's hard to know exactly why this is being nerfed, but probably they've done some play testing and said, this is like a little bit too good in this particular set. So I guess we'll be on the lookout for that. Straight Shot, again, is just purely a text update. It's now a rally effect instead of whenever this attacks. Nala is back to 2-1 from 3-2. That does make sense because we've just had a crazy power level season with anomalies and trinkets, and Nala just could not compete even at 3-2. But now that the power level is presumably going down because of just having quests in the game, Nala can be scaled back a little bit. Probably was a little bit too powerful at 3-2. Technical Element is now a 3-drop. That's fine. That's just to make some space for other cards. And then Felfire Conjurer goes from being a tier 5 to a tier 6. So again, that makes me think that they've done some playtesting, they've had some particular setups, and they said, it's a little bit too good to have Felfire. Maybe with Drakari both on tier 5, a little easy to set that up. So let's turn it into a 6-drop. It's still a 7-6 and end of turn 1-1, so we'll have to see if that's still worth it as a 6-drop, but again, this preemptive nerf makes me think that it's particularly good with other cards they're going to introduce. If you like that video and you want to stay up to date with all the changes for the new season, make sure to subscribe. We will have another video for you later today, another one tomorrow, and then on the 28th and 29th, that's when all the cards will be revealed. And we have the early access event coming up on the 1st of August, so make sure to follow the live stream as well. That's on Twitch. We will be playing with all the new cards versus other streamers and YouTubers, so if you want to know what's going to be strong on day 1, make sure to tune in for that to get a head start. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.